Hello all and welcome to today's maths lesson. Today the learning objective is to know about the rule of the power of 0. So there are 6 questions on the board. This is your retrieval practice. Please pause the video here and answer these 6 questions. Pause the video now please. Okay, so shown on the board are your 6 answers to the starter. Please mark them in green pen and be ready to move on. Okay, so as I said, the learning objective today is to know about the rule of the power of 0. So we can see an I do and a we do here where we've got calculations, and we have to use our previously learned rules of indices to work these out. So first of all, 6 to the power of negative 7 times 6 to the power of 7. Remembering that when we're multiplying two base numbers raised to powers, we can just add the powers together to write this as a single power. So I'm going to calculate this. So 6 to the negative 7 times by 6 to the power of 7 equals 6 to the power of minus 7 add 7 by our multiplying rule of indices. Negative 7 add 7 gives 0, so this becomes 6 to the power of 0. Now a fun little fact for you, and you may want to write this in your book, is that anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So 6 to the power of 0 equals 1. Please can you pause the video here and copy that down, write down any information you need, and then go on to the we do and work that out please. Okay, so for the we do, 7 to the power negative 6 times 7 to the power 6, again using our multiplying rule of indices, the base numbers are the same so we can add the powers. Negative 6 add 6 equals 0, so this becomes 7 to the power 0, and as I said, anything to the power 0 is equal to 1, so the answer is 1. Really well done if you got that right. Please check your answer, mark in green pen, and if you've made any errors, just copy down this work solution for me in green pen please. Okay, so example 2, and a particularly important example. If you look at it here, 6 to the power negative 7 times 6 to the power 6, and then it's times by a 6. Now, we've seen examples like this in previous lessons, but the thing to remember is that when we've got a singular 6 like we do here with no power written, this is essentially 6 to the power of 1. So here we essentially have 6 to the power negative 7 times 6 to the power 6 times 6 to the power 1. And then this is going to follow our multiply rule of indices. So 6 to the power negative 7 times 6 to the power 6 times 6 to the power 1 is equal to 6 to the power negative 7 add 6 add 1, which gives 6 to the power 0, which equals 1. Please can you copy that down and then try the we do as well. We'll go through afterwards, so once you're done, make sure you've got a green pen ready. Okay, so again for the we do, this singular 7, remembering that is essentially 7 to the power of 1. So negative 6 add 1 add 5 gives 0. This becomes 7 to the power 0, which is equal to 1. Okay, so example 3, we have some division here this time. And this is going to be similar to the multiplying examples, but we need to remember our dividing rule for indices, or a division rule for indices. So when the base number is the same and we're dividing those numbers, we can subtract the powers. So 6 to the power 7 divided by 6 to the power 4 divided by 6 to the power 3 is equal to 6 to the power of 7 take away 4 take away 3, which gives me 6 to the power 0, which again, anything to the power 0 equals 1. So this equals 1. Please copy that down and then go on to the we do and give me the answer please. And again for that one, this 7 is a power of 1. So this is 6 to the power of 6 take away 1 take away 5, which gives me 7 to the power 0, which is equal to 1. Really well done if you got that right. Okay, so example 4 gives us a true or false question, and the I do says 6 to the power 16 divided by 6 to the power 15 equals 1. Is that going to be true or is that going to be false? So again, remembering we're dividing here, so we can subtract the powers. So 16 take away 15 gives me 1. So we can write this as 6 to the power of 1. Now 6 to the power of 1 is actually equal to 6, not equal to 1. So this is indeed false. Please move on to the we do and answer that question for me. Okay, so for the we do, we had 7 to the power of 6 divided by 7 to the power of 7 equals 1. So remembering that our division rule says that we can subtract this indice, subtract this indice from this one. So this is going to be equal to 7 to the power of 6, take away 7, which gives me 7 to the power of negative 1, which is not equal to 1. So this is false again. We were looking for a 0 as the power here, which we did not get. Okay, so last example, we have 6 to the power of negative 16, and we have brackets around that, and that's all to the power of 0. Now remember, in our power to a power rule, where we have this number, a number raised to a power, in brackets, and that's all raised to a power, we can just multiply these indices. So this 6 to the power of negative 16, all to the power of 0, is equal to 6 to the power of negative 16 times by 0. And anything times by 0, of course, gives us 0. This then becomes 6 to the power of 0, which equals 1. Okay, this shouldn't say it's true or false here. We're just calculating this. So please, can you pause the video there and work through the we do? And finally, for the we do, 7 to the power of 0, all to the power of negative 6. Again, remembering our power to a power rule, where we can multiply these two indices. 0 times negative 6 gives 0. So this becomes 7 to the power of 0, which equals 1. Really well done if you got that right. We're going to go on to some independent practice now, so please be ready to work. Okay, so on the board you have 12 questions. Please pause the video here for 10 minutes and work through these 10 questions. In the first question, you're just working out what each equals. In the second question, you're working out, is this true or is this false? Pause the video here, please. And there are your answers. So get a green pen out and mark in green pen, please. Did anyone get those all right? Because I'll be really impressed if you did. Okay, so for the second half of the lesson, we're moving on and we're changing the learning objective, and that is now to learn how to calculate negative powers. And this may be the first time you've seen this or not, but either way, we're going to walk through it and we're going to follow step by step and see if we can get you guys answering questions like these. So the first I do says 5 to the power of negative 3. The important thing here is we need to imagine 5 as a fraction. So 5 as a fraction would be 5 over 1, and that's the power of negative 3. The trick is, when you have a negative power, to flip a number to turn it into the inverse of itself. That gets rid of the power, and then we can just calculate with the positive number. So 5 to the power of negative 3, we can imagine as 5 over 1. And getting rid of this negative sign, flip this fraction upside down, so this becomes 1 over 5 to the power of positive 3. So we flip this number around, turn it into the inverse, and get rid of the negative power. 1 over 5 to the power of 3. Well, remember that we just cubed the numerator, the top number, and cubed the denominator, the bottom number. So 1 cubed, 5 cubed on the bottom. This equals 1 over 125. Please pause the video here and calculate the we do. Use the I do to help you through it. Okay, so for the we do, we had 5 to the power of negative 2. Again, imagine this singular 5 as 5 over 1, flipping it round to turn it into the inverse, 1 over 5, and then we can get rid of the negative. So this 5 to the power of negative 2 is equal to 1 over 5 to the power of positive 2. Then squaring the top, squaring the bottom gives us 1 over 25. Okay, second example, 15 to the power of negative 2. And again, we need to get rid of this negative power, and we do that by turning the base number, 15, into the inverse. So if I convert 15 to 1 over 15, I can get rid of this minus sign in the power. So 15 to the power negative 2 is equal to 1 over 15, the inverse, to the power of positive 2. Then we just have to square the top, square the bottom, so 1 squared equals 1, 15 squared equals 225, so this is equal to 1 over 225. Please copy that down and then do the we do yourselves. Okay, so for the we do, you should have flipped 12 into 1 over 12 to the power of positive 2 instead of the negative 2. Square the top, square the bottom, and you get an answer of 1 over 144. Really well done if you got that right. Okay, so this time we've got negative 10 to the power negative 4. But again, it's just the same process, except we've got a negative number in the bracket, but that doesn't change what we do. We still have to turn this into the inverse, so 1 over negative 10 this time, to get rid of the negative power. So negative 10 to the power negative 4 flips into 1 over negative 10 to the power of positive 4. And then we just need to raise the 1 to the power of 4 and the negative 10 to the power of 4. So 1 to the power of 4 equals 1. Negative 10 to the power of 4 equals positive 10,000, so it's 1 over 10,000. Please pause the video there and try the we do. And for the we do, negative 10 to the power of negative 5 becomes 1 over negative 10 to the power of positive 5, which if we raise both to the power of 5, we get 1 over negative 100,000. And that is absolutely exceptional if you can get that right. Really well done, guys. Okay, so 9 questions on the board. Work through those 9, please. See how many you can get, and we'll go through the answers afterwards. Pause the video here for 10 minutes or more if necessary. And there are your 9 answers. So please mark in green pen, going through, checking which ones you got right, and picking up, if you've made any mistakes, picking up what you've done wrong or where you've gone wrong. Thank you for listening today, guys, and I'll see you again in the next lesson. Bye.